to do a video on simple interest, and this is a topic in percents. So simple interest is really when you take some money and you invest it for a certain amount of time at a certain rate. So the interest is the amount of money that you're going to earn on your investment. All right, so that's all that is. It's the amount of money you're going to earn on your investment. Principal is the amount of money that you are investing. The rate is the percent of interest you will earn on your investment, and time is how long you're investing it for. It's usually annually, which means by year. The key thing to know here is this. There is a formula, and it's pretty easy to remember. It's interest equals principal times rate times time, or I equals P times R times T. So that is what you need to know. I equals P times R times T. So you might think, well, that seems pretty easy. So let's get into some problems. I'm going to do 3 problems, and I hope that they make sense, because they should. Problem number 1, you borrowed $2,000 from a family member to buy a car. They agreed to charge you 3% simple interest on the $2,000 for 3 years. So once again, it says, how much interest will you owe them? So interest equals principal times rate times time. The only thing you really have to worry about here is, I'll show you. So the amount that I borrowed was $2,000. That's my principal. The rate was 3%. Now here's the deal. 3% is really 3 over 100, which is really 0.03. So I'm going to write down 0.03, and I'm investing it for 3 years, so that's it. So now, in order to find out how much interest I'm going to owe, all I have to do is turn on my calculator, type in 2,000 times 0.03, 300ths, times 3 for the 3 years, and it looks like I'll owe them an extra $180. So it says my interest on this loan is going to be $180. Now I want to make sure that you understand that this loan, that you're paying the interest on all of the money that you borrowed. So if you start paying off the loan early, that would be a little bit different. That's not simple interest. So it says, how much interest will you owe them? $180. How much money will you have to pay them in total? That's going to be, the total would be $2,000 plus the $180, which is $2,180. And I think I'm going to do this next question in a different color. So let's take a look at the second question. Let's see, what would be a nice color? Let's try red. Let's try it in red. All right, problem number 2. When you were born, your Uncle Peter opened an account for you to mature when you turn 18. Okay, so my time, you know what? Ignore everything I just said there. On your 18th birthday, you received $1,450. You know that he invested $1,000. Determine the rate of investment. So let's see. I want to know let's fill this in. It says it matured on your 18th birthday, which means it was invested for 18 years. It also says that you know he invested $1,000 for you, so that investment is the principal. It also tells you that you get $1,450. Well, that's not the interest. That was the interest with the principal, so it looks like you earned $450 in interest. So if I were to use interest equals principal times rate times time, if I was to use this, I'd say 450 is equal to 1,000 times my rate times my time. Well, I can multiply 1,000 times 18, and I get 450 equals 18,000 times R, times my rate. Well, now it's a one-step equation, so I'm just going to divide both sides by 1,800. This question's a little bit tricky. And let's see what I get. I get 450 divided by 1,800, and I get 0.25. So my rate equals 0.25. $450 divided by... Oh! I have a mistake. It was supposed to be 18,000. Which is 0.025. Haha. I noticed that something seemed a little bit weird. So it's 0.025. Now, that's my rate, but remember, I want it to be a percent. So before, in number 1, when I had 3%, my rate was 3%. I changed it to 0.03, and I did that by dividing by 100. So here, I'm going to multiply by 100 to find out what my percentage. So 0.025, or 25 thousandths, times 100 gives me 2.5%. And my last question. Benji and Phoebe both open up, Benji and Phoebe started college savings funds. They both get $2,500 to start with. Benji put in an additional $500 because he will only be able to invest for 6 years, where Phoebe will be able to invest for 10 years. The rate of interest for both is 3.14%. Determine the interest for both children. So, this looks like a pretty complicated question, and to some degree it is, but it's not really if you can just organize your data appropriately. Interest, principal, rate, time. So that's Benji, here's Phoebe, and let's see what happens here. So it looks like they both get $2,500 to start with, but Benji puts in an extra $500. So Benji is actually going to put in $3,000, and Phoebe's going to put in $2,500. Their rate is both 3.14%, but remember, we had to change this into a decimal, so we're going to take 3.14 and divide it by 100, which gives us 0.0314. 0.0314. And the time, well, Benji is able to invest it for 6 years, whereas Phoebe's able to invest it for 10 years. So the nice thing about this is, now that we have this little table here, all I have to do is go to my calculator. So I'm going to do Benji first. So it looks like we have 3,000 times 0.0314 times 6. And that gives us an answer of $565.20. $565.20. Now I'm going to do Phoebe's. She only has 2,500. Oops, not plus, times. The rate is 0.0314. Times 10. And her interest is $785. So now it says, determine the interest for both children. All right, done that. Benji has $565.20. Phoebe has $785. Who earns more interest? Well, clearly, Phoebe earns more interest. Who has more money at the end of their investment? Well, this is going to be a little bit different. So now, because I'm trying to figure out who has more money, I'm going to have to take this and add it together, and that gives me $3,565.20 for Benji. And Phoebe has 2,500 plus 785. Let's see, 005823. Ooh, it looks like Benji has a little bit more than Phoebe. So that's it. Using these tables when you're doing multiple multiple people is really, really helpful. I hope this video was helpful. That's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.